Welcome you guys into our accelerated growth call, and going to continue to focus on one of the 8 accelerated growth factors this month. And like I mentioned last week, it's actually the one score that shows up the lowest or where most struggle, and that is systems. But I want to really remind all of you the purpose of this program, and the purpose of this program is designed to help you grow your business. There are 8 parts, 8 structures to the accelerated, to help us accelerate the growth of our business. And it really comes down to the consistency around these 8 factors. The consistency, and it's almost the disciplined consistency around these 8 factors in pursuit of your B, right? We talk about from A to B, and we could have a big A to B, and then we have a lot of small A to Bs on our way there. And that B is really just it's our known destination that we have for our business. And so I'll give you guys the answer. That destination for all of us, for all of what we do for our business, that destination is freedom. And if you don't know what that freedom is, then you've got to focus on finding clarity. And so we have to also understand that people come to us lost, confused, and insecure. We have to find clarity and know how to gain confidence. And so once we have that sense of clarity of what it is that we know where we want to go, what is our freedom, then it's really, are we creating enough demand? Do we have enough value to create demand? Do we have a proven system to create demand in your business? How do you acquire clients? What's the daily, the monthly, weekly, daily activities to create that demand? And see, remember, it is about freedom, but it's also the cash, the fuel to accelerate that growth. And that's done through creating demand, creating clients. So do we have a proven system? Are we playing offense, or are we just sitting back on our heels playing defense? Because I can promise you right now, with what's going on and kind of how things are, that if you're playing defense, you're going to get lapped and you might become extinct. So it's all about offense. So what is the proven systems that we have to create demand in our business? Then what's the strategy? What is our strategy to solve the issues that we have in our business, to pursue our freedom? Then we got to look at, okay, well, what's the team look like in order to execute on the strategy to solve the issues that we face? Once we have our team, right butts, right seat, how do we communicate? How do we communicate with our team? How do we communicate with our clients? How do we communicate with our community? What is then, so we have this, but then what's the model, right? How do we harvest the most amount of profits, or the exact amount of profits that we need in our business? So how are we producing new money every day? How are we producing new money every day? Does this, does the system, does the cadence, does that allow us to, be able to talk to new people or move people further along to be closer to making a decision to be able to do business with us? Is where that really comes in. And, kind of that 7th factor, and maybe one of the most critical ones, is does this business align with who you are at your core? Over 10 years of doing this, and, two really successful brokerages in polar opposite markets, I think 4,300 total transactions, and then, we're approaching 14,000 one-on-one coaching calls. I say that to say there is not a situation that I haven't seen. I promise you. I have coached out people out of this business because it doesn't align to who they are at their core. So you have to make sure that what you're doing is aligned to who you are, and run it through the emotional intelligence of motivation, right? So run it through. So there's five components to motivation. Remember, people, nobody can motivate us. People can inspire us. Motivation comes from within. But the three good pillars of motivation that you have to ask yourself, and this is what you want to build, right? You want to build a business and you want to build a team that people are doing what they love. Do you love what you do? Now, you may love it. You may love the business, but you may be wrong. You might be in the wrong seat. Okay. Does it feel like work? What you do, does it feel like work? And then lastly, is it fun? Do you love what you do? Does it feel like work? And is it fun? It should not feel like work. It should feel like something you could do all day, every day. You absolutely love it. The passion is there and it is fun. I mean, you have fun every damn day. So that's really where you have to look and make sure that this is aligned to who you are at your core, what it is you're wanting to do. If not, go find that. And that's even the same thing on your team, yourself, your team members. And we're always looking for good people. We're looking for good human beings that align to who we are at our core, that believe in what you believe. They want to be a part of something bigger. They believe that you can help them accomplish what they're wanting to accomplish. And sometimes you get them on the bus. Jesse Itzler has one of my favorite visuals that I've ever heard. And by the way, if you guys ever get a chance to see Jesse speak live, like run at the opportunity. Jesse is, I first got introduced to Jesse through Living with the Seal. And that seal ended up being David Goggins. And so that book is just fascinating. He's an incredible storyteller. I think now he owns part of the Atlanta Hawks, and he's married to Sarah Blakely, Spanx. So he's just an incredible human being. But he gives this kind of visual that the moment we're born, our bus starts rolling, and that bus never stops. And what happens is that people come onto the bus and people come off the bus at different points in our lives. So even think about it, right? When you're born, your parents are on the bus, your grandparents are on the bus, family's on the bus. Well, as we lose our family and loved ones over time, they come off the bus. Well, we bring friends that come, they get off. And what he says is that, people will come and go off of that bus. And your job is, when they get on the bus, is make sure that they're sitting in the right seat on your bus. And so really be thinking about that with your team, the alignment, designing and building your business the way that it supports the life that you want to live, right? Remember, it's supposed to help you get to your freedom. Every one of you on here has a different definition of freedom. So really make sure that what you're doing is aligned to what you're wanting to accomplish. And lastly, the 8th point is really, what are the core systems your business is built on? What is it running on? Are you people dependent or are you systems dependent? Like, shit, if that person left me, I am screwed. Or, hey, no worries. I got a great process in place. If they leave, they decide to move on. They decide to graduate. I've got a great system that I can plug anybody into if they're the right human. And so remember, in the beginning, they're not there. You're doing them. You're probably just doing things just to do things. You probably forgotten more. I had an old mentor of ours when we were growing up, coming out of high school, and I'll never forget, man. He taught two things that I always think about from him, and he he said, he would always say that, I thought about the other one. I forgot the one I was going to tell you. You'll come back in a second. But the one that he always said is that, all problems are the same. There's just more zeros attached to them as you get older, right? We all still have the same problems, but sometimes there's just extra zeros attached to them. It'll come back to me in a minute. What I was wanting to share with you. But yeah, he was a great mentor of ours, and so really making sure though that we have the systems and processes documented. Oh, I know what I was going to say. He was a builder. He goes, I probably have forgotten more about building homes than you guys will ever learn in your entire life. And so that's typically what happens, right? When we do something, so it's just in our subconscious, we just do it. Like we forget. I was talking with Kyle Davis earlier today, and we were just kind of going back through his listing process. And it's like, because he's trying to transition and train his team. I was like, plug him into CHSA. He goes, I do that process in my sleep. And so I think I know it. It's like, no, don't do that. Let your team run through it. They need to train on it. They need to learn on it. And so what are your systems and processes that you're bringing your people through to where your business is system dependent, not people dependent? Are they documented? Are they trained on? How often are you reviewing them? And are they updated every quarter? That's where you want to get to with it. And remember, like I said, guys, in the beginning, it's just you. Just record it. Just record what you do and send it over and let your team kind of lay it out. I mean, that's what I did with Dee when she first came on. I was brutally honest with her. I said, we have nothing. we have nothing documented, but that's going to change. And so we talked every day. We walked through and we would do examples. We would walk through. I'd show her, hey, this is what I like. And we built the systems and processes from there. Our stuff lives recorded on a private YouTube channel. We've got stuff documented in Drive, and everything we do has got to be documented, and it's got to be system. What's the system for that? What's the system for that? Because what happens, and I know every one of you on here wants to be the best leader that you possibly can. What happens is that you get to be hard on the system, but you get to lead the human. Hard on the system, lead the human. Okay. And what happens typically, if you don't have a system, then you're hard on the human. Yeah, we can give tough love. We can hold accountability. We can, reveal their blind spots, not, make sure they do what they say they're going to do. But that's leadership. But you can be damn hard on that system. Hey, where did we fall short? Hey, the system was off. We need to add this in here. We need to add that. How can we implement technology? Do we need to have a video in here? So always being really hard there. So let me ask, homework last week was one, to give you guys awareness around a handful of core systems and processes you do on a monthly, weekly, daily basis. All right. How many of you have started to identify what those systems are in your business? Just throw in the chat. Just say, got it. I know Bo's got it. Really having an awareness around them. And like what Vern would always tell us is like, guys, don't go attack and try to build them all out right now. Just pick one that is the biggest constraint for you right now, the biggest challenge for you right now, and focus on it.